Hi, Lila.
Hello there. I lost you.
No, we lost you.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get back. I don't know what happened.
I think you hit the stop video.
I guess so. I gotta get out of here.
This is the 19th week.
What did you say?
This is the 19th.
19.
Week. Good evening, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, there's another rabbi.
Another rabbi. Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
Two
Shabbat
rabbis,
Shalom.
no waiting.
I knew I was muted. I turned my mic on too soon. I turned my camera on too quickly. Hello.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, Rabbi.
I hope you had a
Lila,
good-
Lila, I miss your kugels.
I do too.
Oh, well, I promise you, when we get back, I'll make a fresh one.
You better.
I'll take one out of the freezer. That's
No,
okay.
forget it. They're not there anymore. Nope.
Thrown away.
Oh, really?
Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista.
They should be good for a while. for the
Nah, they're not
freezer.
there anymore.
They've
Oh.
been since March 1st, probably. Actually, we met quite a lot then.
But who's counting?
That's
You
right.
know-
Lila, can you hear me? It's
Yes,
Carol.
we can, Carol.
Actually, we
Okay.
made those in February.
Because I'm on my phone and I don't know what's happening.
You know,
Carol,
when
did
when you
Dick
freeze-
get his problem solved?
No, that's why I'm on my phone. He's on the computer.
All right, tell him I'll call him tomorrow. We'll
Okay,
continue.
thank you. Thank you.
He'll
You
get
know,
the
when you-
bill on Sunday.
when
Okay,
you
fair enough.
when you freeze something, as long as it's frozen while it's fresh, you can get up to a year in a freezer. It doesn't go bad in a freezer as long as the freezer is maintaining the temperature. And you
And
should
it's
get,
sealed properly.
Yeah.
And it's sealed properly so it
It's
doesn't.
ready.
dry.
We're gonna make fresh. when We go back.
Souffles. We're gonna make fresh ones.
all
Fresh
right,
ones. Fresh.
all right, I'm okay. I'm just saying, people don't realize that the length of time something is okay. When you cook something like chicken,
Yeah.
the food code says even if you have a restaurant, you can keep it up to 7 days. So some people say, oh, it's 2-3 days old, I'm going to throw it away. You really, if it's maintained at the right temperature, it's not coming in and out and in and out, you can really preserve food for quite a while.
How about the souffle, Rabbi?
Keep it long.
For how long?
He can keep it a year, he says.
Yeah, I'm eating Passover knishes.
He's putting his 1 year. He's putting his
Somehow
1
I
year
don't
extra.
believe that.
Yeah.
You're still eating Passover knishes? Like,
Well, you
I
buy
don't eat
2
Passover
dozen,
because
whatever,
of
and how many
Passover.
can you eat? So, we eat one at a time, maybe one a week. So
if I had a knish in this house, it would be gone. If I had
Oh.
12 knishes in this house, it would be gone. The knishes don't last in this house.
yeah.
And trust me. there's
Even
only-
Passover dishes?
No, I don't care. You give me a knish, I'll eat it.
They're really good.
What, the Passover knishes are good?
Every knish is good.
Every mission.
It's just a different flavor, it's not
That's,
right.
yes, it is definitely
You
a different
must
flavor.
remember this. A knish is just a knish.
How do I get the Shabbat Shalom, everybody?
Shabbat
Yeah,
Shalom.
Shalom.
Carol, turn your phone 90 degrees.
Which way, right or left?
The other
Okay.
way. There you go.
Figure it out.
Tell me
You got-
when. Oh, there we go.
It's
That's
better.
better.
That's better. Why can't
Thank you. That's much better. Thank you.
See, an MIT guy knows that.
Hey, listen, I know nothing. Anybody can tell me anything about a computer
Don't
or a
say
phone
no,
or anything.
I'm the math teacher. How come it won't?
I'm a little nervous. My grandson Ari says he wants to go to MIT. So
Okay.
we have to start saving now, even though he's 10.
MIT's policy, I interview for them, as you know. Okay, MIT's policy is if get accepted, they guarantee you will be able to afford to go.
Oh,
And that's
All right.
not to say you shouldn't start saving for college, clearly.
We
Right,
guarantee you'll be able to come. Don't worry.
If
You'll
you
be
get
able to come.
accepted-
You'll owe us for the rest of your life, but you'll be able to come.
No, they have a need blind acceptance, and the average debt at the end of 4 years is about 20 to 25 grand.
That's not bad.
And considering the average salary for an MIT
That's
grad
not bad.
is 20 grand more than a non-MIT grad,
Hmm.
you got a bargain.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow, that's
Wow.
fantastic.
The problem is getting in.
Is that all?
Because they only accept on the order of 6% of the applicants.
They all come from California.
No, they come from a variety of places and they don't
That was another
actually-
joke you didn't get. Forget about it.
Okay.
although Bibi Netanyahu went to
And
MIT.
they don't actually look as part of the application process as to where they're coming from. So they get a fairly wide distribution, but they don't artificially influence it. The only thing they do is they limit foreign acceptances to about 10%. And the reason for that is financial, because they've guaranteed that you can afford to go there, and foreign students are lots more expensive because they have to figure in travel expenses and things like that to Azerbaijan or wherever. So other than that, we had 6 students accepted several years ago, all from Marblehead High.
Oh, Peabody High usually gets some.
Peabody High often gets some, but I'm saying in 1 year, there were 6 kids from Marblehead High that got accepted. So
Well, there were years where Peabody High kids got in and not one person from St. John's Prep.
Steve, what program are you talking about?
what's that?
What program are you talking about? You just got in.
MIT.
Oh, well, that's MIT, Marblehead. I understand being a Marblehead high school grad. Makes sense.
Okay.
Where'd you go to school, Richard?
Vermont.
Because of the skiing.
No comment.
No, I didn't ski then. I didn't know what it was all about. Couldn't have afforded it. 6 years up there.
You missed the beginning of the conversation.
No, the first time I put on a pair of skis, I was a freshman in college. I was 18. And I never took a lesson. And I went up to the top. I figured I could figure it out. And I must have gone down like I was a ski racer. And I had to fall down in order to stop. I would have gone into a lake. But it was
Like I said, I was
That's how I
42 when
skied
I
in the
learned,
lake.
and I took lessons.
yeah.
Down at the Cape in the ocean. We used to ski in the Cape Cod Bay. I never skied in the snow. It was too cold.
I never understood why you strap 2 little pieces of wood on your feet and jump
Thank
off
you,
the mountain when
Loretta.
there's a perfectly good lodge at the end, at the mountain.
Thank you,
There's a
Loretta.
fire
I'm with
with a
you.
book.
I couldn't have said it better myself,
Yeah.
Loretta. That was great.
Never understood the sport. And I tried it, but no, never
No.
got it.
No.
I don't know. You people rag on me for my golf and my skiing.
Nobody's ragging on you.
I think Harold is
Good to
on.
have passions.
I think Harold was a ski patrol guy. He's a great skier. Harold
Alan
Kemp.
Lehman. Alan Lehman still is, or was.
Lehman, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bernie, for that little dig. Thank you.
That was a compliment. It was a compliment.
I wanted to see if everybody was paying attention.
Harold, we can't see your videos. Oh, there you go.
Hi.
There we
So
go.
everybody,
There you
Anita,
are.
Where's Paula tonight?
It's 8 o'clock. I don't know. She better be here.
Paul's not on. It's 8 o'clock, Rabbi.
It's 8 o'clock. It's
Mimi.
8 o'clock. I see it.
Everybody mute up.
Thank God Mimi's in the batting cage.
Echo show says it's 8
Everybody mute
o'clock.
up. Mimi has declared at 8 o'clock. It is time for us to begin, and Rabbi Bernie will begin as we always do every single Shabbat. This is the 19th Shabbat we've been doing this with our yala la 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 and bim bum.
You
Rabbi?
got it. Yada da 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 yada da 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 and yada da 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 yada da 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 and yada da 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 yada da 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 da. Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 2, 3, 4 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 bim bum bim 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 bum bim 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 bum. These words are so tough. Bim bum bim 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 bum bim 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 bum. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom.
I was watching them, and they were bim bumming with you. Bim bum 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 bim. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Hello.
Well, it's a great way to start every week, and also the best way to start is to hear good news, and we always do that here at Temple Ner Tamid in Peabody. So if anybody has any good news to share with us, you may open your mic, and of course, we're all very nice. We wait till the next person speaks. So who's up first?
I have some good news.
Go for it.
My daughter-in-law sent me an email telling me that my grandson had an original story published in his school's literary magazine.
Oh, nice.
This is the Pie Guy.
What is it?
This is the same one, the Pie Guy. You know the Pie Guy?
Oh, the Pie Guy. Yeah, right.
Pie
oh
Guy.
My God.
Yeah.
This is the one that's going to bring us to Venus.
Something, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Well, Mazel Tov. This is good stuff. Always.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very exciting. I mean, it's only his school, but it's an official literary magazine with a whole Megillah with it.
It's only his school. Congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you.
That's great. Mazel Tov. Who else?
Congratulations. I got news.
Yes.
Here.
Hey.
The last tick is in the nest.
Hey.
He came home last week, so he's home for good.
Home for
All
good?
graduated and looking for a job.
You're looking for a job?
Yeah, he's looking for one. So, but he's.
Well, you want to put your resume out tonight? It's fine. We've got all these people on tonight, ready to hire you.
Anybody in construction management? Construction.
Actually, I know a few people we should talk.
There you go.
Okay.
See? Yeah.
We'll talk. Welcome home. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he was home in time to celebrate his dad's birthday and the sister's second anniversary.
What do you think of the new dog?
She's so cute. Yeah, she's precious.
You go away and they bring home a new dog. Isn't that great? Hope you have your room back.
I do.
Good.
He does. He has.
I'm in the process of putting it all back together.
Okay. Welcome home. Shabbat shalom.
Thanks.
Who else has good news? Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, since we don't know what day it is every day, to me it seems like it is Shabbat every day. We don't work, we don't do anything.
You don't, I do. There's many of us who work every day, but I get the difference. As a matter of fact, Shabbat is a time for us to take it down and really relax and enjoy each other. I get it though. It's like Groundhog Day. Anyone else? Good news?
Yeah, granddaughter turned 15 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So she's growing up too fast.
Well, that's a good thing. Mazel tov. 15 is good. The next one is the driving.
Yeah, right.
Enjoy this year. All
Shabbat
right.
shalom, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Like Rabbi, I think
Doc-
Chris has been raising his hand.
Right.
Chris,
Just open your mic.
yourself.
Just open your mic. Don't be shy. Just
So,
open your mic.
Jocelyn and Josiah want to say something.
It's our birthday tomorrow. And guess what? It's on Sunday. Our birthday's on Sunday. My birthday's after them. And
Okay,
Jocelyn.
Alex, it's they're saying it. They're saying it.
Well, happy birthday on Sunday.
How old are you going to be?
Are they twins?
7.
I'm gonna be 9.
No.
I'm gonna be 8. I'm gonna be 8.
Happy, healthy birthday to both
Well,
of you.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
May you have a happy, healthy birthday. Yom Holedet Sameach. Christopher, I hope you'll teach them that song. Yom Holedet Sameach, right? We'll sing that for them. All right. Any final good news?
So I have some good news.
Yes.
I just want, actually, it's a thank you to our congregation for being so generous for our fundraiser. The official date ended on Wednesday. However, we are always still taking more donations, but people have been extremely generous, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So
That's good news. Thank you for that. It's a great way. People have been wonderful. And, you know, we're going through a difficult time, but I think people are making lemonade out of lemons, and we thank them for that. And we're all working real hard just to try to make us get through this so that we can someday be not virtually hugging each other, but truly hugging each other in person. Soon, let's hope. All right. Are there any other final people with good news? Because I can't see everybody unless I do that, and then I still can't see anybody. So everybody good? All right. I'm going to try this again, Rabbi. I actually am going to see if this works this week. This is a rabbi that you all know who recorded this on YouTube a few weeks ago. And it's been streaming on YouTube every week now, and it's charting. And I understand it's had millions of hits. So everybody, we welcome the angel of peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlach, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Olachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Seirchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful.
It doesn't work this week, and we just have to remind everybody to mute their microphones, however. So Rabbi, it worked this week, and I hope we enjoyed that. And that's been charting. It's been selling millions of copies worldwide, and you heard it here first on the Temple Ner Tamid. Rabbi, take it away. Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman Mishach Avdach El Ritzonach Yarutz Avdach Kemo Ayal Yishtachave El Mol Hadarach Yerav Lo Yedidutach Minofet Sufechol Ta'am Yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai 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 nai.
And let's join together as we read the Sabbath prayer together. Dear God, help us now to make this a new Shabbat. After noise, we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat. And again, I'll remind you to keep your microphones muted tonight unless we tell you to open them. L'chuna ranana, Rabbi Bernie.
L'chuna ranana, l'chuna ranana, l'chuna ranana l'Adonai. L'chuna ranana, l'chuna ranana, l'chuna ranana l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzo Yeshenu, Nikadma Fana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzo Yeshenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina Ladonai, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina Ladonai. Kia Gadol Nama, Arba'im shana akud bedor va'omaram toev levavhem vehem lo yadu drachai Hashem nishpati v'yapi im yevon al menuchati.
Now it's turn to the next page and I will lead you responsibly. Rabbi Bernie will lead you the congregation in the repeats. And please keep your microphones muted as we will do the Psalm 96. Sing a new song to Adonai, acclaim Adonai, all people on earth.
Sing to Adonai, proclaim each day God's awesome might, announce to the world God's glory and wonders.
For Adonai is great, deserving of praise. Adonai alone is to be revered as God.
All the gods of the nations are nothingness, but Adonai created the heavens.
Majesty and might accompany God's splendor and strength adorn God's sanctuary.
Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nations. Acclaim God's majestic power. Acknowledge God's glory and bring him tribute.
Worship Adonai in resplendent reverence. Let the earth tremble in God's presence.
Declare to the world, Adonai is sovereign. God has steadied the world which stands firm and judges all nations with fairness.
Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea and all it contains exult.
Let field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithfulness. Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagel haaretz Yiram hayam umlo Yalo zasadai v'chol asher bo Asher ananu kol hatzeyar Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz Yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim be'emunato.
And now we rise, for those of you that wish to, on page 20, Mizmor LeDavid.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim Adonai almayim rabim Kol Adonai b'koach Kol Adonai behadar Kol Adonai shover arazim Vayishaber Adonai et Arzei Havanon, Vayakidem Kimo Egel, Lebanon Visirion, Kimo, Then Re'emim, Kol Adonai Chotzev Lahavotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechol El Hayalot, Vayechesof Ye'aron, Uvhechalo Kulo, Kavod, Adonai Lamavu Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Yos Leamo Yitain, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom.
And Lechadodi, we'll do every other stanza. Lechadodi.
Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zacho b'dibor echad. Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'lit hila. Lechadodi lekrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela, Mikdash melech gemelucha, Kumitzi mitog hafecha, Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha. Anu yachamol alayechem lalecha dodi, Lekrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, kiva ore kumi ori, Uri, Shidaberi, Kivod Adonai, Alayek Nigla, Lecha, Dodi, Lekrat Kala, P'nei Shabbat, Lekabela, V'hayulim Shisa Sho, Sayich, V'rachaku Komev Alayech, Yasis Alayech Elohayech, Kim Soskat Anal Kala, Lecha, Dodi, Lekrat Kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Bo v'shalom ateret bala, gam simcha u'tzala, toch emunei am segula. Bo ichala, lecha dodi lekrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And now the Psalm for Shabbat. Rabbi Bernie will lead us and we will respond. Again, keep your microphones muted. I will lead you. Whoops. Let's try that.
Here we go. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
To affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad, and I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works, Adonai, your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend, and the foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble.
But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, and they shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant. To proclaim Adonai is just, my rock, in whom there is no flaw. Tzadik Tamar, 4 lines from the bottom.
Tzadik Tamar yefrach, ke'erez bavanon yezkeh, shetulim beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Og yenuvun deseva, deshenim verananim yeyu lehagid, yashar Adonai, Tzori velo avla tavo.
And page 24. Whoops. Sorry about this. I don't know what's going on here.
There we go. After
And now at this time, those of you that are reciting the Mourner's Kaddish may open your microphones, and only those of you saying the Kaddish will recite the Mourner's Kaddish together in unison and slowly. Yitkadal, v'yitkadash, v'yalma, kirute, v'yamlich, v'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chaye, v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala, v'zman, parim, v'yimru, amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba B'Barach L'Olam Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'Yithadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitala Shmei B'Kodeshah V'Yichu Le'ela Mimcho Birchata V'Shirata Tushbachata Yehei Shalama Rabba Mitzrayim B'chayim Aleinu Yachol Yisrael Amen. Now, if you wish to join me for the repeat after the Baruch Hu, you may open your mics and then immediately close them, please. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Le'olam Va'ed. And I'll ask everyone to please mute their microphones at this time, and Rabbi Bernie will now lead you with your microphones muted in the Praised Are You.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God who rules the universe, your word bringing the evening dusk. You open with wisdom the gates of dawn and design the day with wondrous skill, set out the succession of seasons and arrange the stars in the sky according to your will. Adonai Tzevaot, you create day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light. Eternal God, your sovereignty shall forever embrace us. Praised are you, Adonai, for each evening's dusk.
Umavir yamamevi laila, umavdil ben yom ben laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Amari Varavim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. ועבדך תעשה ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו Israel. And now as a congregation, if you choose to open your mics, you may do so as we declare God's sovereignty together as a congregation. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. Please mute your microphones, and Rabbi Bernie will now lead us in the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam mishivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uveshachvecha uvekumecha ukeshatam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'eineinecha uketavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvesharecha.
And we continue silently. V'hayayim shemot. This time the olive of Kavi al Nashkim Shatam Tamli Atam Ben and Echem Ben Manatam Ben
Leman Yebu Yemechem V'mei V'nechem Al Hadama Asher Nishba Adonai Lavotechem Latet Lahem K'mei Shemayim Al Haaretz. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe Lemor Daber al Bnei Yisrael V'amata Aleihem V'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdeihem lidorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til techeleh v'haya lachem l'tzitzit Horitem oto, uzachartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'yasitem otam, v'lo taturu, acharei levavchem, v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkaru, v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Amen. Aden kregen we Romachut Obratzon Kiblo Alehem Moshe Bnei Yisrael Lecha Anu Shira B'Simcha Rabba V'Amru Chulam Michamocha Ba'elim Adonai Michamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Nora Tehilot Osef Malchut Chara Uvanecha Bokayam Lifnei Moshe Ze Elianu V'Yamru Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed V'namar Kibernai et Yaakov V'golo Miad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Ata Adonai Al Yisrael. Again, with your microphones muted, please join Rabbi Bernie in the Help Us Adonai, the Hashkivenu in English.
Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, now sovereign to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace and guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy and shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people, Israel, and over all the world, and over Jerusalem. Let us say amen.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamideinu malkeinu l'chayim, u'fros aleinu sukat shalomecha, v'takneinu b'etzat tova milfanecha. V'hoshienu leman shemecha. V'hagein badeinu v'aser me'aleinu oyev dever v'chereb ravi agon v'aser satom mefaneinu u'meyachareinu Ubitzel kanayfecha, ubitzel kanayfecha tasdireinu, ubitzel kanayfecha tasdireinu, ki el shomreinu matzileinu ata, ki el melech Chanun berachum ata ushmor tzeitenu uvoeinu l'chaim L'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam u'fros aleinu sukat shalomecha Baruch ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu Bial kol amo Yisrael, bial kol yoshvei tevel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Rabbi Bernie will now lead us in the Vishamru, page 34, and you may rise if you so choose.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Israel, oti li'olam, oti li'olam, oti li'olam. Shamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai Et HaShamayim V'et Haaretz V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Uvayom Hashvi'i Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Yitkada Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
Yom Madira Krute Yamlik Makute V'chaye Konu V'yamekon U'chaye Dechabed Yisrael Bagala Uvizman Karim V'yamaru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'alam Olameo Maya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'av Yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitalav Shmei Dekucha
Berichu
Li'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiram B'yama V'yamaru
Amen. The Amida will be silent at this time. We have it up for you in English or in Hebrew, and Rabbi Bernie will say it softly for you if you wish to follow along with him. He'll do it slowly, don't worry. And if you wish to follow along with him, otherwise, the words in your heart. This is the time for private and personal meditation and personal prayer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Oel Hagidol Hagibor v'Hanara Elyon Gomer Chasidim Tomei v'Konei Yakol v'Zochei Chasdei Avodim Meviku Elu Bnei Bneihem Laman Shmo B'Yahava Melech Ozeh Ufokid U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ufokid Sarah atah Gibor Le'am Adonai Mechayim Et Matorav Lehoshia Mechalkei Chayim B'Chesed Mechayim Eitim Rachamim Rabim So make no film refeklum a materials from a kayem munato shnei afar micha mocha bagavot mitum malach malach mitum kaya umatzmiach Yeshua v'nei manatalach yom mitum rochatana mechaye hametim atakados v'shimcha kadosh ukrashim chol miul kasela rochatana hoel hakadosh Atakidash at Yom Shvi L'Shmeka v'Tatlit Nasei Shemai v'Aretz Barak to Mekol Yomim v'Kidash Mekol Yitzmanim Ken Katuv v'Tortecha v'Yichulu v'Shamayim v'Aretz v'Chol Tziva'am v'Yichalulim b'Yom Shvi Malach Torah Shavasa v'Yishbot b'Yom Shvi Mekol Malach Torah Shavasa v'Yivarchalim b'Yom Shvi v'Kadesh Otoki v'Shavat Mekol Malach Torah Shavar Elohim Nasod Elohim v'Levatenu Ritzevim Nukatenu Kotenu v'Mitzvotecha v'Tenkel Kenu v'Toratecha Sabinu Mitzuvek v'Sam Kenu v'Shuatek v'Tenu b'Yom Lodkav Yemed later now Elohim b'Avav Tzon Shabbat Kodshech v'Inu Chuvo Yisrael Makadesh Mechabruk Tanai Mikadesh HaShabbat Ritzei now Elohim b'Yom Chashua b'Tfilatam Yashem v'Devol B'Vetek v'Tfilatam v'Vatam V'Ratzon Tamid Avodai Shalom Echa v'Techazan Einen v'Shuchat Zion Brachman and Baruch Adonai Hamachaz Yeshkina Tolet Zion Modim Anachnu Lach Shatu and Elohim v'Levatam v'Lambed So Chayin Magen Shinu Watahula Dodo Nodal Chanis Betel Tachin Hamstrom Yadach Yalshmet Haguloslach Galni Seksham Iman V'Flotek Totekbol Id Avatrama Tokyo Chalachamecha Dramakim Kilo Tamu Chasadak Milam Pinula Yalkalam Yifakid Ram Shimkam Malkeno Tamili Lamba Ed V'Cholachai Midukasel V'Haluach Goemet Oezro Tenu Tenu Sela Baruch Atanai Tovshim Chalachanam Elahodo Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha V'Koshvei Tevel Tasem Li'olam Kiatahum Melchadon L'Chola Shalom B'Tobinach L'Braket Amcha Shabbakoled V'Chol Shah B'Shlom Echa Brachatan L'Am Barecha T'mo Yisrael B'Shalom Elohim Tov Shoni Meras Vatem Bemema. Lon Kalai Nafshi Tidom Nafshi Kefa Koltia Pitach Nubiptotek Misratek Turf Nafshi Bakol Hashemalai Amahira Happy at the Tamkoke Makshatam. Asalam Manchumecha, Asalam Manumeca, Asalam Makusa Seka, Asalam Torteka, Lamani Katuni Didecha, Oshi Mitkavianani, Eularatson Refi, only below Nekna Torigoli, Shalom Bimoma, Uyasa Shalom, Alan Belkoisraelium Ru, Amen.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech Et Amecha Yisrael bechol ed ubchol shah mishlomecha. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam, Oseh shalom bimromav. Oyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emaru.
Amen.
May the one who brings peace to his universe bring peace to us. To all the people of Israel, I'll call Yoshvei Tebel and all who dwell on this earth. And we all together say, Amen.
Amen.
At this time, I'm going to say a Misha Berach for those who are not feeling well, as Rabbi Bernie would say, for those of you who are not feeling well or friends who may be ill. And when I stop, you may open your microphones and say the name of the person you are remembering tonight. Of course, I just want you to know I always refer to my list, and unfortunately my list is growing. And I want you to know if people are on my Misha Berach list, and when you are better, when you heal, I want you to call me and we say a Shechayanu together. Many of you have not been calling me lately, so please, my phone needs to ring more this week, and I need to take more of you off my Misha Berach list for more people having refuah shlema, complete healing. Misha Berach Avotena Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah U'Yivarech v'Yarafei et
Bernice Hammond, Anita Rizzo,
Angela Volante,
Howard Weinberg, Karen Escambeni, Jenny
Faith
Boo.
Warner, John Coliano.
what's Christmas?
Jenny
Henry
Lewis,
Castro,
Randy Nathanson, Joan Sinofsky, Karen Meltz.
Louis Auerbach,
Esther.
Elisa Zimmerman, Harold Hoffman.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Christopher Johnson.
If all of the names have been said, please mute the mics. כל החולים בקהילה הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם להחזיקם ולפרותם וישלח להם מהרה ברפואה שלמה מן השמיים בפרט הנפש בפרט הגוף בתוך שחרר ישראל שבתים מלזעוק ופועל קרבו לבוא השתה בזמן קריב ונאמר אמן. Mi shebeirach avotenu, mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu, mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And at this time, Rabbi Bernie will now lead us in the Vayachulu. If you wish to stand, page 47, it is appropriate to do so. Vayachulu, Rabbi.
Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi'i, Vayikadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikom melachto, ki bo Shabbat mikom melachto, Asher bara Elohim, Asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon konei shamayim va'aretz.
And if you're standing, you may be seated.
Magen navod bevaro, mechayim mitim b'ma'aro, ha'el hakadosh she'en kamohu, hameniach le'amo b'yom Shabbat kadsho, ki v'amratza lehaniach lahem, ki v'amratza lehaniach lahem, Lefanav nabod b'ira v'fachad, v'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid, me'on habrachot, el hahodaot, Adon hashalom, mikadesh hashabbat u'mavarek shvi'i, u'meniach b'kedusha, Liam medushne oneg zecher lemase bereshit.
Page 48.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ritzei b'mnukatenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'tekalkenu b'toratecha sabbeinu mituvecha v'samkeinu b'shuatecha v'taher libeinu yavdecha be'emet v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu Yahava uratzon Shabbat kadshecha v'yinukuva Yisrael mikadeshei shemecha Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh Shabbat.
Yitkaral b'yitkaral shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yemach malchutei b'chayechonu v'yemechonu v'chayechol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kari v'yimaru
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbam mevarach le'olam v'lo me'omaya.
Yidbarach.
Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yibar v'yirumam v'yitnaseh v'yitadav v'lavid l'ashem v'yikudusha.
Barichu.
Le'lamin kol b'chatav b'shirata tush b'chatav nechemata damiram v'yamav v'yimru.
Amen.
Tikabal sloton v'oton d'choy Yisrael kadam v'hon v'shmai v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehi shlom rabba min shemai v'cham alem v'koy Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'yimaru.
Amen.
Guess who I saw in the batting box, in the warm-up box? Jacob. I see him. I see Jacob in the warm-ups, in the warm-up circle, actually. Are you ready, Jacob? All right. I want to ask Mimi if she's poured the wine. Everybody pour your wine tonight. Make sure your wine is poured for the Kiddush.
Wine is poured. If you want grape juice, let us know.
Yeah. And we have a grape or Muscat. Sweet. And Jacob is going to now chant for us on this week number 19, the Kiddush. Jacob, take it away.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, yahava uvratzon, hinhilanu, zikron l'matzei bereishit, ki hu yom tehila, l'mekrayit kodesh, zechir l'tziyah, mitzrayim, Kivanu Baharta Viotanu Kidashta Bikohamim Vishabat Kocha Yahava Uvratzon and Yaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, Yasher Koch.
Nice job.
I'll tell you, Jacob, it gets better and better every week, and I don't know how it can keep getting better, but you're doing a great job. Thank you for being the highlight of our service every week. One of them, anyway. Certainly, we appreciate it, Jacob. Very much so.
Thanks.
You are welcome. Well, this Shabbat, we have a double parsha. Matot Maseh. And it took me a long time in my life to learn it was not Massey, but Maseh. And I'll tell you a story. I want to start out with a story. There was a couple. I got wine on my talus. Oh, Gavalt, I'm in trouble. Don't tell my wife. Kid's going to be upset. A couple was talking about things with friends. We were discussing, having a conversation. And I noticed that every time the man would say something, his wife would correct him. Finally, the husband very politely said, "You know, dear, I've got a complaint that I have to get off my chest because it's been bothering me now for quite a long time." And she says, what is it? What's the matter? We've been married now for 52 years. And you still correct me every time I open my mouth, to which the wife responded, 53 years. This Shabbat, Sefer Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, comes to an end. It closes the book on the 40-year journey from slavery to hardship, from hardship to personal freedom, from personal freedom to the communal freedom and responsibility that would be required when entering the land flowing with milk and with honey. We have now spent a full 40 years witnessing how a new generation was born to replace their parents who wanted to go back to slavery, just like the wife that kept correcting the husband. Moshe kept trying to refocus the slave-minded generation toward freedom. Since he could not, it required the next generation to take their place. We were all fascinated as we read how the new generation proved itself in battle under the most difficult conditions. There's no doubt that this new generation was proud They were self-assured, and they were ready to engage in the struggle to win and hold their new land, the land of Eretz Yisrael. They refused to be held back by the fears that constrained their parents. They refused to give in to the trials and the tribulations that they suffered. They watched their loved ones die of terrible diseases at the hands of their enemy, Amalek. And even so, this new generation saw the bigger picture and would let nothing stop them. Unfortunately, history tells us that they will become quite comfortable after settling into their new homeland. We all know how the future will offer their descendants many temptations and challenges, and how they failed. We all know how the temples were destroyed and how the Jewish people were scattered all over the world because they did not continue to live as Jews are supposed to live. And that is why we are currently in the 3 weeks of mourning right now. We cannot forget that toward the end of the last century, the descendants of those same Jewish people who were scattered all over the world were tragically and forcibly reawakened. These Jewish people rediscovered our unique and undying Jewish Israeli heritage. As a result, they rediscovered our unique, as a result, they fought to regain our Jewish state. This happened only after the world witnessed the unspeakable Shoah, softening the hearts of the citizens of the world toward the Jewish people. It is hard to understand how only the generations of our people who suffered the most would become ready to return to God and become generations born to action. The generation of the wilderness and the Shoah both demanded and built Eretz Yisrael. And both times Eretz Yisrael arose from the most horrible of suffering. In this week's double Torah reading, we learn of a remarkable tribute that the Torah bestows on the people who survived this very difficult wilderness experience. We read how Moshe records for posterity the 42 legs of Israel's journey from Ramses in Egypt to the plains of Moab, and then across the Jordan River to the Promised Land. Moshe recalls each march and each encampment. The thing that is extremely interesting is that the Torah offers no more information about this other than they left here and they went there. There's no need to elaborate on what happened at each step along the journey. After all, Moshe's list is the summary of an already documented story, and we repeat the reading and study of the Torah each and every single year. It happens to us everywhere. So then why in this long list of marches and encampments does Moshe stop to spend time on one particular event along the way? Why does Moshe pause even for a brief moment to put aside his role as the prophetic leader of the Jews and talk about something personal? I understand that at this point, Moshe is no longer God's faithful shepherd because his job is all but done. So then why does Moshe expose his humble humanity by giving us a glimpse at what it might feel like to be the last of a generation? Why, in the midst of this listing of places, did Moshe share his feelings of loss and of hope? Based upon everything Moshe did in his life, it is during this time that we could have expected Moshe to pause and to say something about the crossing of Yam Suf, the Red or the Sea of Reeds, or the revelation and the giving of the Torah at Har Sinai, or the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, or the remarkable nation building experiences, or some other highlights of our national epic. While we would think that Moshe did not stop his travelogue to discuss them, Moshe did not stop to remember these amazing moments when God's presence was most powerfully felt. No, instead, Moshe was interested in telling about the generation that he raised in freedom and the events surrounding the death of Aaron, his brother. Yes, in the middle of a speech that is remarkable by its lack of any redundant information about the journey, Moshe stops to explain the details of the death of his brother Aharon at the age of 123 on the first day of the 5th month, while Bnei Yisrael was encamped near Mount Hor. Then in Bamidbar chapter 33, verse 38 through 40, Moses says that right after Aharon's death, the Canaanite king of Arad, the first Canaanite king to be conquered by the wilderness generation, heard that the children of Israel, they were arriving. So with that, I ask, how does retelling the death of Aaron make any sense here? Well, in these 3 short verses, Moses wants to make sure to show us the pain of watching one generation pass and the joy of watching another generation come into its own. With Aaron's passing, everyone Moshe knew from his younger days, they all had died. And that is with the exception of Yehoshua and Caleb, the brash young men who were uniquely supportive of Moses from the very beginning. In the course of 40 years, Moshe watched in pain as his entire generation died off. On the other hand, Moses also watched with great joy as he helped raise a new generation. Now, as a result of all of his hard work, Moses is very old. He's a very old man living now in a very new world. And he's happy with what he sees. Yet sad because he knows that he cannot enjoy the fruits of all of the work and the labor that he put into bringing them to this point. From Moshe's perspective, Aaron's death and the first victories of Bnei Yisrael who will enter the promised land mark the most significant events in his life, even more so than the exodus from Mitzrayim. Yes, it is obvious that the bittersweet human experience of generational change grabbed hold of Moses's essence. By discussing Aaron's death, Moshe is facing the fact that his life journey is also coming to an end with his generation. On the other hand, after witnessing his people defeat king of Arad, Moshe also knew that he has raised up a new nation, a new people, a people with new leaders who were ready to make the promised land their own. So why did Moses pause while retelling the journey from Mitzrayim to the promised land? He retold his brother's death so he could take what would have been a very God-centric story into a very human and relatable one from which we all can learn, and we should. No longer is this only a step-by-step history of how God led the people of Israel to the promised land by providing us with one seemingly small but highly significant personal memory. Moses has turned his story into our story. He transforms the epic narrative of God and Bnei Yisrael into a very human story about which we can all personally relate to. Yes, we relate to these people as our people. Moshe's words still touch our hearts and move our souls to this very day. This is similar to the way the personal stories of today's survivors of the Shoah are paving the way for us to return to our homeland. What Moshe was telling us is that we must never forget that God alone could have never given us Israel. Not then, not now, and not in any generation. It is because of those very personal stories that God has enabled us to witness the recreation and the survival of the state of Israel in our lifetime. And just as in those biblical times we read about this Shabbat, this weekend, after suffering through slavery and the terrible conditions of the desert, it is with none other than those who lived through the hellish time of the Holocaust. It was they, with the help of God, who fought for and made the miracle of Israel, a state come alive. And these survivors could do this because they were proud and they were self-assured and they were ready to engage in the struggle to win and hold our homeland, the land of Eretz Yisrael, with the world filled with groups trying to destroy our homeland today. Let us all do all that we can do to honor and to do our share, to do away with the BDS movement, to say no hate to anti-Semitism. We must get on that bandwagon. No hate or anti-Semitism. We must say no to any group who wishes to destroy enrich Israel and the people of God and our homeland. We must say yes to a God's gift to us today, tomorrow, and every day, because the land of Israel is our gift, and we must appreciate and honor those who safeguarded her existence for us and for the generations to come, L'dor vador. As we watch one generation go and a new generation come, as we just watched the Kiddush chanted by the next generation, let us all kvel together as the next generation takes the baton from us, learns from us, and moves forward in a land flowing with milk and honey and with shalom. With that, I say Shabbat Shalom, stay safe, and all of you be healthy out there. And let us say, Amen.
Right on.
And this time, I'm going to turn things back to Rabbi Bernie, I believe, for the Aleinu. Rabbi, please, congregation may join Rabbi Bernie with your microphones open if you wish at this time.
Aleinu nisabeh bedon hakol, latet tefillah liyoter bereishit, shelo asanu tzvei harakol, velo samanu k'mishpat adama, shelo sam Elokeinu kahen, v'gor aleinu k'olam olam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני המלכים קדוש ברוך הוא שהוא בשמיים ויוצא הארץ משה ויקרא בשמיים מעל ושכינתו בגן מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אמת זולתו ככתוב בתורתו ידעת היום וידעת היום ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני לנצח הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד,
And at this time, I'll ask everyone, all of you, please to mute your microphones, even those of you saying the Kaddish at this time, as I recall with love the yortzites of our congregation this week. We recall with love the yortzites of Marcia Edith Batcherman, Becca Clayman, Helen Gershon, Sarah Goodman, Minnie Goretsky, Julius Kaufman, Benjamin Kemp, Rose Krinsky, Gerald Leventhal, Celia Lisser, Meyer Lipsky, Eva P. Orloff, Chacham Raphael Mazur, Daniel Rosenthal, Theodore Ann Rosenthal, Theodore Solisi, Mr. Weiner, Alex Zillen. Are there any other yortzites at this time that need to be announced? And if those of you who are saying Kaddish for a loved one, if you wish to say the name of the person you're remembering, you may do so at this time.
Helen Casper and Jerry Leventhal.
Leonard Hillman.
May the faith that binds us to our loved ones be a continuing source of comfort as we now invite those mourning and observing a yortzeit to rise and to say the words of the mourner's Kaddish with me together, slowly and in unison. Yit gadal,
Yit gadal, shalei rabah. Yama dirav v'kutei v'amlik v'kutei v'chayom v'yamichon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv yamu amen.
Yehei
Shmei Rabba Mavarach Olam Mei Omaya.
Yit Barach.
Barach Yish Tabach Yitnaseh Yitadar Yitaleb Yitalav Shemei Yishab Birchata B'Shirata B'Shirata B'Nechamata Damiram Yomah V'Emru Amen. Yehei Shama Rama Min Shemaya. Aleinu V'Yalkol Yisrael V'Emru Amen. Yaseh Shalom V'Mama. Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu V'Yalkol Yisrael V'Emru Amen.
Amen. We'll ask everyone to please mute, and I'll call upon our president, Adele Labarsky, for some announcements. Adele?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Rabbis, thank you for leading services. And of course, Jacob, thank you. I just want Chris to be on notice that soon we're going to ask your children also to lead us in services. So keep practicing with them, and they are going to, all right, thank you. So services tomorrow morning are at 9:30. Tomorrow evening, Havdalah is at 9:01. Sunday through Thursday night, we have services at 7. This Tuesday, the lunch bunch will feature Rabbi Eli Perlman. I hope you all come and join us. I'm sure it will be very entertaining and educational. And we have a trivia night on the 28th. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Shabbos. Just be safe. It's going to be very warm tomorrow and Sunday, so make sure you hydrate. And Shabbat Shalom. And happy birthday to Jocelyn and Josiah on Sunday.
Happy, healthy birthday. And thanks for, sharing that with us here at our shul. This is what we're all about, family, and we want to hear about these simchas. So thank you for that. Happy birthday, guys. Don't forget, and when we conclude the service, for those of you that wish to join us for a L'chaim Tovim, you can do that with soda. You can do that with water. You can do that with the spirits that we usually use at the temple as well, or your wine if you wish. So get it ready, and Rabbi Bernie is now going to lead us in his favorite Yigdal. Rabbi?
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yesh tabach nimtza v'yein eitel mitziyuto echad v'yein yachid ki yichudo ne'elam v'gam ein sof li'achduto ein lo temud haguf v'yeino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato Kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra rishon v'yen reshit l'reshito hino adon olam b'chol notzar yorek gedulato malchuto shefa nevuato nitano elon shesegulato v'tifarto Lo kam Yisrael kimo she'od navi umavi et emunato Torah temet natan liyamo el al yod neviyo neman beito Lo yachalif ha'el v'lo yamidato li'olamim lezulato Sofer v'yodeya sitarenu Mabid l'sof davar b'kadmato gomer leish chesed kimefalo, noten l'rasha ra kirishato, yishlach l'ketz hayamin mishichenu, liftot mechakeket yeshuato, meitim yechaya el v'rov chasto, Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato, Meitim Yechaya El Berov Chasto, Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato.
Shabbat Shalom. If you wish to open your mics and join us for the L'chaim Tovim El Shalom, you may do so. L'chaim, to life, Tovim, to goodness, to happiness, to Shalom, to peace. Oy, 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 do we need peace in the world? Let us hope this is the week it comes. Maybe everybody will just wake up this week and say, okay, enough fighting. Here's to our youth. Here's to the next generation. Baruch atah Adonai v'olam shakol niyeh bevaro l'chaim
tovim u'shalom.
l'chaim
tovim u'shalom.
L'chaim
I don't think she's on the phone.
Oi! Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
But